Many years ago, my family and I undertook a pilgrimage to Badrinath temple, one of the 4 sacred Himalayan shrines known as the Char Dham. The journey from Rishikesh was one of the most frightening experiences of my life. The mountain road was extremely narrow. On one side were towering Himalayan cliffs, and on the other were deep valleys that seemed to drop thousands of feet. There were few guardrails and sometimes none at all. Buses traveling in opposite directions often had to stop, while the other carefully squeezed past. One mistake by either driver could have meant disaster. As our bus climbed higher through endless twists and turns, I found myself praying constantly. The driver gripped the steering wheel with all his strength as he guided the bus around sharp bends without realizing it. I was moving my hands as if helping him steer. We left before dawn and traveled the entire day through the Himalayas. One of the most memorable places along the route was Yaksha nearby. We saw the famous Elephant Mountain, a mountain formation shaped remarkably like a giant elephant. By evening, we finally arrived at Badrinath, located about 10,259 feet above sea level. The cold was intense. The surrounding snow-covered mountains appeared blue in the fading light, creating an almost magical atmosphere. We had no hotel reservation and eventually found a small room for the 4 of us. Sleeping was difficult. There was no central heating, only blankets piled on top of blankets during the night. I repeatedly woke up gasping for breath because of the thin mountain air. The next morning, as we prepared to visit the temple, 2 priests unexpectedly came to our room. After asking our names, they searched through ancient family records that their priestly families had maintained for generations. To our amazement, they located records connected my grandfather's pilgrimage many years earlier. Standing there in the Himalayas, seeing my grandfather's name recorded in those old registers was an unforgettable experience. It felt as though time had disappeared and the generations had become connected. The priests explained that Badrinath remains open for only part of the year. During the winter, when heavy snow makes the region inaccessible, the worship of Lord Badrinath is moved to Yaksha. When spring returns, the deity is brought back in a ceremonial procession. Then the older priest told us a story that gave us goosebumps. He spoke of Yakshas and Yakshinis, mysterious beings mentioned in ancient Indian traditions. According to him, a young woman had disappeared in the region several years earlier. Despite investigations by the police, no trace of her was found. 2 weeks later, she suddenly reappeared. She claimed that beautiful, tall men wearing shining golden ornaments had arrived in a flying chariot and taken her away. She described them in vivid detail, but could not clearly explain where she had been or what had happened. Much of her speech afterward was confused and difficult to understand. The only thing she consistently repeated was that these extraordinary beings had carried her away in a flying vehicle and later returned her to the roads near Badrinath. Whether the story was folklore, misunderstanding, psychological trauma, or something truly unexplained, no one knew. Listening to the priest tell the story in complete seriousness, while sitting in a cold Himalayan room, surrounded by ancient mountains, was deeply unsettling. For the rest of our stay, we had little desire to wander outside alone after dark. Yet what remains strongest in my memory is not the fear, but the beauty, the blue mountains, the shining snow, the sacred atmosphere, and the feeling that in places like Badrinath, the boundaries between history, faith, legend, and mystery become wonderfully blurred. Some journeys take us to a destination. Others take us into another world. For me, Badrinath was both.